right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give you praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Makar Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings be unto the hopeful elect, pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. All right, this is the brother Yakanan from the GMS England branch, and this is going to be a brief in transit video. Lord willing, it be edifying unto you brothers out there and few sisters listening and also learning. All right, now in this video, really this is going to be an exhortational style video, just as I'm driving here, and as I do from time to time, you really get in a deep meditative state of how blessed and how fortunate you are to have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, to have this truth. All right. Well, that's a thought that comes to me more than often. Let me just say that. Sometimes you be daydreaming, all right, or you just thinking intensely on particular things, and the recurring thought that always comes to my mind is how blessed we are, to have this truth, to have this understanding, especially in these last days. All right. Now, the scriptures say that in Isaiah 33 and verse 6, the scriptures tell us that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right, which is a very heavy scripture, man, because we're heading into a time upon the earth of great confusion. All right, the devil, the wicked elites of Esau Edom, they're working to bring forth great confusion. They're working to bring forth great instability concerning the minds of the people, which is already accomplished. All right, but they're looking to worsen that gross darkness spoken of in Isaiah the 60th chapter and around the 3rd verse. They're looking to worsen that gross darkness upon the earth. Okay, but through this truth that we have, through Yahweh Shai, we're able to defend ourselves, protect our spirit, protect our mind from these demonic and dark attacks, and from that gross darkness that's being spread, over the nations, man. Okay, being able to operate with a clear mind, having that clarity, having the names Yahweh, Why Yahweh Shai is a very powerful thing that shouldn't be overlooked. All right, that should never be overlooked, man. The fact that we have the names, the fact that we have this truth. Now, we might not be financially in the best of shape, all right, but that's by design. All right, we might not have all of the carnal things of this world. We might not have the pleasures that you can obtain in life in general. But you know what, on this side, you don't really want all of that. All right, you don't want to partake in the pleasures of this life, because the scriptures tell us that the fashion of this world passeth away. All right, so we want to wait upon the pleasures and the riches of the kingdom, and really the riches begins with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, as the scriptures tell us, man. Okay, the depths of the riches, which is again the real riches, is this truth. Okay, everything else is gonna come in the kingdom of heaven, man. So don't feel like, and I'm talking to myself first and foremost, before I'm, projecting what I'm saying to anyone else. Don't feel like you're getting left behind. All right, don't feel like you're, unaccomplished, concerning the standards of the world. All right, because what we have, being in this truth, again, having this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, having, a stable and a clear, mind is above all. All right, having the names Yahweh, Wah, Yahweh Shai, knowing how to pray, to them heavenly powers, man. That's above all things. Okay, you could be completely destitute of a roof over your head. You could have no food to eat, but having the depth of the riches of the Holy Scriptures is above everything, man. Okay, that is above everything. You really got to think to yourself, hey, the Spirit has us going out there on the highways and the byways, making videos during the week, okay, preaching what we believe, okay, fueled with the faith of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. We have that gift of faith, and the Spirit is moving us, all right, to consistently push and strive for what we believe in, man. The scriptures say, strive unto the truth until death, and the Lord will fight for you, man. So the Spirit has us actually doing that, okay? That is a blessing. And again, that is a blessing that you can't overlook, okay? Don't make, the cares of this life, all right, interfere with, what you're consistently doing in Yahweh Shai, okay? The scriptures say, I believe it's either 2 Timothy or 1 Timothy, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. We're engaged in a spiritual war. All right, we're soldiers in this thing. All right, we are spiritual soldiers. All right, not of carnality, but of the Spirit. We're engaged in a spiritual war, a war of the mind, a war, in your faith, on your faith in Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? But the Spirit, has us guarded through the Spirit. We are guarded. All right? We're guarded through the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. Okay? So again, don't make this world make you feel like you missing out on anything. You ain't missing out on nothing. Okay? What you gonna do? Go to nightclubs and dance with demons? Partake in trying to get up in this world where you have to compromise yourself in order to get ahead, where you have to do away with integrity in order to get ahead, where you have to be dirty, you have to have low morals and low integrity in order to succeed. We ain't missing out on anything, man. Okay? It's better to keep your integrity and wait upon Yahweh Shai, because this place is about to be destroyed, and the ways of this wicked world is about to go down with it, man. Okay? The scriptures speak about, not envying, the wicked, not envying, the oppressor, man. Let them have their time, right? Because their time is coming to an end, and we can see that via what? By measuring what's happening concerning these prophecies, man. They're on their way out. They're about to be destroyed. Their kingdom is about to fall to the ground and be disintegrated, man. Okay? But we have, we have the next, kingdom that's going to be manifested upon the earth, which is the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. Trust and believe in that, man. That's what we're about to experience in these last days. The downfall of Esau, Edom, and the rise, okay, of Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians through Yahweh Shai. That's what's transpiring right now upon the earth, man. And that's what we have to look forward to. Where you're actually going to have a righteous kingdom. Okay? You're going to have a righteous kingdom. All right? The women are going to be in order. All right? Wickedness is going to be frowned upon. And it's going to be, set right there on the spot. Okay? Because this kingdom, the kingdom of Esau, Edom, it upholds wickedness. Okay? It upholds, going against the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? But in our kingdom, all right, the standard is going to be righteousness, man. The standard is going to be doing good. The standard is going to be making sure that wicked acts are stomped out right there and right then. And that's going to be the job of the elect. Okay? Like how it says in Habakkuk, I believe it's chapter 1. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on that. But it basically says how, the law is slacked and judgment doth never go forth. That's how it is in Esau's kingdom. Judgment never goes forth and the law is slack. All right, the standard, is just wickedness, man. But in the kingdom of heaven, transgression is going to be addressed immediately. Okay? And by the way, transgression is not going to be carried out by the Israelites, because we're going to be perfect. We're going to be in order. Okay? But the other heathen nations, they're still going to sin. They're still going to go off. So they're gonna need to be, you know, reprimanded, man. They're gonna need to be corrected, and that's gonna be, again, the job, you know, of the elect of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, to always set things in order. Okay, but again, we're gonna be living in a righteous kingdom. All right, we're gonna be living in a righteous kingdom. So wickedness and sin is not gonna be rampant like how it is, you know, in the kingdom of Esau, Edom. Okay, and that's what we look forward to. All right, your food is not going to be polluted. All right, you're not going to have forever chemicals, you know, roaming around your body. You're not going to have, you know, terrible headaches, tooth pain, backaches, you know, your legs fucked up. All right, leukemia, you know, cancer. All right, all of these things are going to be a thing of the past for the nation of Israel, man, for the elect. All right, which ultimately we're all going to be in a kingdom, all right, as Israelites, and we're all going to be, you know, of that election, man, ultimately. But 2/3 of us and the rest of the wicked of our people will have to die first before you obtain that. All right, because 2/3 is talking about the land of America specifically, and then you have the rest of the wicked of our people that's scattered throughout the four corners. Okay, so everything is going to be set, and is going to be in its correct measure, man. And that's why we look forward, you know, to the kingdom of heaven. That's why we look forward to the downfall, you know, of Esau, Edom, man. Okay, because this kingdom, wickedness is you know, reached to the highest height, man, as it tells us in the book of Revelation. All right, wickedness is fully, you know, run its course in this wicked ass kingdom, man, and it needs to go. All right, it's got to be destroyed. Okay. Now I'm nearing at my destination now, so I'm gonna cut it off there. You know, Lord willing, if the Spirit permits, you know, I'll be back, you know, with another video. All right. So shalom.